Hey guys, this is Allison from Allykatkreations. How are you? Happy Friday. So I did a video late last night and went to just look at it to see if I needed to edit it, and there was no sound. There was no sound. I was a little upset because it was a good video. So hopefully this is working. I do have a microphone off to the side, so it picks and distorts things like outside noise. So, if anybody has it within you to help me out, a love donation is appreciated. I might have just bought myself another month of internet and electric, but it's rough. So I did a video about density, the 10 Commandments, Yeshua and Yahweh. I mean, I told you I'm going through this succession of videos, and I might be making them better. I might be making them better. So we'll get started. This is from book 1, by the way. First, density. Planetary environments starts in chaos, undirected energy. Everything is random. Light springs from the darkness. Kind of shows the way the Norse talked about Ginnaganat, how everything sprung from the void. First density also includes mineral life, water life, fire, and wind awareness. Thus, beingness strives to move to second density. Second density, animals, insects, other such life that has consciousness, but is not self-aware. And not to say that animals aren't self-aware, but they can't compute, they can't, they run off more of instincts, to say the least. Like cats look at themselves in the mirror and they try to attack themselves, you know, if depends. But in essence, we, especially those who have pets, see Morgan's right there, we teach them how to be human, and they teach us unconditional love. So it's like a huge trade-off, which is wonderful. So they strive for third density. So when we move up, our pets, once they pass on, will choose whether or not to be human. But I hope Morgan becomes a human because she deserves it. She works really hard. She's a good soul. Old and grumpy, but a good soul. Right? You're good, mama? Third density, self-awareness, self-consciousness. So, like I've been talking about in a lot of videos, when we're born, we're not self-aware until later stages of our development. And then we become our identities. We have personalities. We identify with other objects and material things in the world. And then we also mirror our parents and take in our environment. And then we become our individualized self, understanding our consciousness, and then our awareness of where we are in the material world, which then we strive to go to 4, which many of us are on the sub octave right now. Woohoo! Yep. Difficult to harvest. This was all of us. Not many back in 1981 isn't spiritually advanced yet. The social complex is in flux. Hence why waves of wanderers incarnated to help see the light in teachings to aid the masses. That's some of us. We were already supposed to make this shift a long time ago. And when this was written in 1981, Ra does go into the time frame that this quantum leap would have happened. And now we're 40 years, 41, 42 years after the fact, and it should have happened at least 10 years ago. But we've been held up and we've been in flux. So something did occur to us as society that kept us from graduating and ascending. Now, I have a feeling this is the Orion group, and I have a whole plethora of notes I made. I literally was sitting and making notes off the first book, so that I didn't have to stop and redo other videos, just read through and take my notes. So we've been held up, but I feel like now in divine timing, more people are waking up and becoming aware of what happened, what took place, the lies, the indoctrination, everything, and becoming more consciously aware of where they fit into the scheme of things. And more people are becoming more loving, and then other people are coming more service to themselves, but that's a part of the law of one. At this stage, Ra, at that time when he was channeling into Carla, said he was 6th density striving for 7th, but he was in the upper 6. So who knows if he already made that leap to 7 and why his social memory complex. I believe that they're being channeled, but not by many people. Once we hit 4th density, we will be split to service to other places, planets that are just like this, some as service to self. So right now in 3rd density, we are combined. So we see the narcissists, we have the elite, we have people who are really just a service for themselves. They're all about themselves. They want greed. They want to indulge in themselves. They don't really care to serve other people and don't really care to help other people. And not to say that that's everybody. I don't want to generalize that, because I know narcissists who are just very much into themselves, but are very loving and caring and help others, but they're very self-motivated to be driven on themselves. Does that make them a bad person? No. It just screams which density and where are they going? I don't know. So I know for us, when this shift happens to going to 4, the people who are service to others are going to shift altogether. The people who are all service to self are going to shift to another place. Now, this harvest, we are being harvested with our avatars. As the Keys of Enoch states, we're going with this body. We're going through these eternal ascension symptoms. We are having our DNA upgraded. We are encapsulating the change. Now, not everybody is going through these changes. It's on your own individualized time. So the people who will be moving up will go together. The people who have passed away but are still going to be harvested will have new bodies, new avatars, and they're going to be different planets that some of us might go inhabit, because our teaching, learning, as Ra would state, would have more of an impact on those planetary spheres. I don't think that's going to happen if we're keeping our body. I think we're going to transform to a new earth or outside of the ice wall, whatever you want to see what new earth is. It's what we want to manifest. A better place. And it could just be another duplicate of earth, or it could be earth cleansed. Whatever the case is, there's too many speculative theories going on with who's right, who's wrong. Go within. I'm not getting the answers. They're not, my upstairs group is not telling me. It's like, surprise, you're going to know when you know, and that's just going to be the way it is. So again, I know in one of my videos I broke down and say, please just don't get attached to people, places, and things. I know that's very hard for a lot of us. It's definitely harder for me in this paradigm. I'm not attached to people, not at all, because I don't have people in my life to be attached to. I think that's another reason why I'm in this hermit mode, where I do have friends and I do see people occasionally, but I don't have a family. I don't have a husband. I don't have parents. I have very little family that I speak to. So I don't have attachments like that where I'm going to, if I'm ripped away from somebody, I'm going to like, it's the end all be all of my life. No. And it's not to say if someone passes away, they're always a part of your soul group in your tribe. I know when I did an oracle reading a few days ago, that was like a main focus of one of the group's readings, was like your soul tribe, and that's who you have to find. Those people who are like-minded to you, you need to find those people. We all have specific jobs that we have obtained, and we arranged to have these missions and these things happen to us in this life. Not everybody's job is going to be the same. And many of us are working multidimensionally in our sleep. So a few people are like, I keep seeing you in my dreams. And, or, why aren't you helping us? Because that's not my mission. Everybody is slated for different things. So please understand, if other people are asking you, they're seeing you in dreams, or they need help, everybody has their own mission, and that's the tribe that you need to find. And the outer tribe are the spiritually awakened people working all together on different missions. So it's like being in the army, and each has a battalion and a brigade, and each section has a mission, and those people go off on their mission, but as a whole, they're a part of the army, right? That's basically what's happening with this ascension. Many of us have different jobs. I know one of mine is to help the grid upstairs, the light grid here. And that's why I feel like I haven't been able to physically move out of my location, because I'm holding a very high light here. It's very satanic in New York. But yeah. So now to the more difficult aspects of that reading that I did, but now I have to redo. The 10 Commandments. You're not going to be happy. Many of those of you who are religious. And I do urge everybody, and actually divine timing is the best timing. If anybody watches Tarot by Janine, she does a deep dive Friday on this topic, and it's rather interesting to listen to. Very, very interesting to listen to, because really does coincide with the law of one. All right, so negative entities streaming info upon the positive polarity mind, body, spirit complexes. It presented as positive, but has negative characteristics. The Orion group is responsible for this infringement. The conquest to enslave, to establish an elite role for others, to bow down, to obey, with various laws and followings. So the questioner then asks about Moses, and Ra is like Moishi. That's the Hebrew name. Moses equals Moshi. Moishi. And he asks if he was positively aligned or not. And of course, Moses was positively aligned. The problem is he's a channel from Creator. Moses channeled a lot. The problem is it was infiltrated. And when you look at the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not is a negative aspect. It does, when you really think about the wording in itself, there's negative characteristics there. Because the law of one's about love and light. Ross states that Moses was open to impressions and received the law of one in the most simplest form. The information given became tainted to the negatively orientation because of the pressure applied from the people surrounding him. So those people were infiltrated around him. And because of this, applied from the people surrounding him also certain physical things in third density planes, which left the knowledge given a service to self nature. So what you read of as what the Ten Commandments says is of a service to self nature. Doesn't make it not from Creator, because it all comes from Creator. It's just a service to self instead of service to others. So just take that into awareness when you read the Ten Commandments again. And like, look at the wording, specifically, thou shalt not, instead of something more of a positive notion. My co-host is being very stubborn. Try to give her a chance to get into a spot that I created for her from the sheets. Nope. She'd rather play with my jewelry, which I made this one. And I made that one. Since today is, well, tonight is a new moon eclipse. It's called the black moon eclipse because of the appearance that it's going to have. I want to bring and manifest prosperity and happiness, and it has copper, havelite, turquoise, green avitrine, labradorite, clear quartz. And this one I have amethyst, black tourmaline, And all the other gems, I just put more different variations in here. I make bangles, though they don't fit everybody. A really good friend of mine, I made an amethyst set, didn't fit. Okay. Now that Missy moved. This is why I urge you to watch Tarot by Janine. Jesus of Nazareth. She's eating paper, by the way. Let's see if I can get it on. You don't like that Jesus? I'm mentioning Jesus. Proof that cats eat paper. Oh. So if the dog ate the homework for real, like the cat chewed my homework. Jesus of Nazareth did not have a name, as Ross states. He's of the fourth density of the highest suboctave. Watch Tarot by Janine. She just put out that episode on Jesus. And this is nothing to be upset about, okay? I read a lot of books with Jesus at the heart of it all. But you have to understand Jesus comes from a higher order. Jesus comes from a higher density. He came here to help share love in its vibration in the purest of manner. He was given permission to come here to have a mission in third density to do that work. So everything that he's preached and done and learned is the direction we should all be taking. That's called the Christ consciousness. And I'll get into, again, when it comes to the keys of Enoch, it's an office that's held. And Jesus held this office. Or you can call him Yeshua. I like to call him better Yeshua. But he held that office. It's a consciousness that we all need to obtain in order to become fully fourth density. And it's love. Fourth density is all about love. Unconditional love, all forms of love. I think a lot of the times people have trouble right now loving themselves, coming to their circumstances and coming to the truth of the matter that things are changing and it's not easy. So like everybody here has a mission. In my awareness, I was, when I took form of a body, an avatar, I was sixth density. And then I became third density for experience. And I've had a mission since my first incarnation. Jesus had a very similar mission. He came down, he lowered his density to come down to share with us his knowledge. I don't feel like he went through the veil of forgetting. I think he knew already coming in what his mission was, and some stuff might have been forgotten from him. I might have written that down. Hang on. Jesus was also a wanderer, which is an AKA starseed. He wasn't originally human. His essence wasn't human. He took human form. Like, I'm Palladian, I took a human form. Other people are Andromedan, they took a human form. That doesn't mean you're not human. He was human. That just means his essence wasn't human. And yes, there are human essences. The Aboriginal and the original people from this planet are originally from Earth. They're souls. He was a wanderer from the Confederation origins, representing the fourth density, understanding and of understanding love, which he was on the way to the fifth density. The Orion group was Jesus's downfall to his mission. They knew what he was up to. They knew what he was trying to do. And they didn't want us to ascend, because their service to self is to enslave and control the population. So you can now understand it's not a race of people that put him on the cross. It's entities being controlled. There's no religion or race involved in this. And although, yes, you could say the Romans, the Jews, and yada, 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 they were all manipulated. Their free will was infringed upon because they were manipulated by the Orion group to be service to self instead of being service to others like Jesus. Jesus, in my opinion, was more of a service to creator. And he was on this mission, I think, via creator, to come down and to give us the law of one and teach us about love and compassion and healing. And if you read the Melchizedek, or you listen to me do that and the keys of Enoch, a lot of this starts making sense. Pistis Sophia, that is a major one. That book right there is allowing you to see what Jesus really truly is in the light. Love and compassion. Pistis Sophia is absolutely showing you exactly this. Judas gave challenges to Jesus, who did feel he was doing the right thing, but it would have connotations of rule over others, which Jesus didn't align with, so that became his downfall. I don't know how accurate that is either. And again, this isn't from Ra, but I'm pulling from other sources as I'm talking. Jesus had the remembering at a young age when he had an awareness of penetrating intelligent infinity. So Jesus had his abilities, and it was triggered by a catalyst. A negative event took place, which the catalyst made him angry. It was the death of a friend. But he transmuted that emotion for the positive and started to remember who he was. So the veil of forgetting was there, but he was able to penetrate that barrier and started to remember who he was and his mission and why he was placed on this planet through that event. He transmuted a negative event and the light bulb went off and holy crap, right? The world changed. And he also stopped karma by forgiveness. Through his life, he did a lot of work learning. He synthesized his experiences and was able to communicate with his other selves. So his higher self, his light body, his astral form. And when he made those famous words, that he's going to forgive because they don't know, his karma got wiped, so he wouldn't have been able to stay earthbound or get reincarnated in third density. His awareness of saying that and breaking that karma, because that would have definitely entrapped anybody that's been crucified for teaching and been annihilated for just speaking what they would like. He went back up and is still, I think, fourth density, probably 5, maybe. We'll see. Ross states that Jesus was aware that it wasn't an entity of itself, but a messenger of Creator, who saw Creator as love. Also, those of its consciousness would return at the harvest. He would only be coming back as a member of the Confederation through a channel. Those of the same consciousness vibration will be the group to welcome and accept those to the fourth density. The meaning of the return, claims Ra. And I've been saying this as well. Jesus isn't the Messiah that's going to return that we see. It's the Christ consciousness within our own consciousness that's going to be uplifted. And when we do that, the people in the social memory complex that Jesus inhabits, so he's not the only one that has this love light, high off the scalar energy. There's other beings that encompass this as well. They'll be the welcoming crew for us. How cool is that? Because you made yourself self-aware. That's how you rise. In consciousness. Not an entity coming back to save us. We have to save ourselves. And that's all, of course, free will. The questioner asked, how do us Earth humans communicate with Yahweh? This is also a very touchy topic. Ross states that communication would be called genetic. The second was walking amongst us to produce further genetic changes in consciousness. Then be a series of channeling with chosen people. So Yahweh is not creator, by the way. Maybe a portion of him, her, it energy. Then the genetic changes is similar to what we know to be cloning. People incarnated in the Yahweh entities, then having sexual contact, changing the mind-body-spirit complex through those means, all to develop us spiritually and speed up the process. So Yahweh injected and manipulated genetics so that we biologically, through having sex and having offspring, speed up the process of spiritual attunement. Because during the Atlantean days, when the people, the mer people and the people up top genetically mixed each other up, they spiritually lost their spirituality, their knowing, and became more physically, materially stronger. So in order for that not to happen in this cycle, this took place. Sorry, guys. I also feel like Yahweh came to do that because of the infiltration of the Nephilim and of the Orion group then themselves coming to distort our genetics. So there would be a seed of God in us, which they can't achieve and can't have. And that's why they want us, and we're a hot commodity on the space market, because we have the God spark, we have the God genetic gene, we have the DNA that they don't. And not to say they're not from Creator, because they all are. Their components are made differently from ours. They are of a hive mind. They're not creative. We have that creative spark. That was the gift being in this experiment that God gave us. And Yahweh came to make sure that was going to be held. So those are the components of ourselves that are not lost. The entities of Yahweh isolated some procedures to combat the Orion group. The Orion group, however, used distortions to infuse thoughts of the elite, as we see in our paradigm today. Yahweh was of the Confederation through perceived as a mistake in how it aided. And then it's the holy wars against the Orion group. So when we look at the holy wars, thou shalt not kill, but then you are going around killing everybody who doesn't believe in what you do. Although Jesus went to India and other places in the Far East to learn meditation and to talk and be around gurus and enlightened monks that then came back with the love light message and more of the spiritual attainment that one would need, because no religion's correct fully. They all componently are. If you combine all the good aspects of each faith, they all have truth to them. They all have spiritual attainment, and it's up to the individual to resonate with that. So what happened during the holy wars, they're going around and killing everybody that doesn't believe in what they want to believe in. Is that godlike? Is that okay? And then you look into our, it's very a long time ago, but you look at the witches and the paganism. Christianity is paganism, folks. Sorry to hang that over your heads, but it's the damn truth. All your holidays are from the pagans, and paganism isn't evil. Some aspects are because of the negative intention that is implied on there, but listen, the people who are claimed to be witches, in my opinion, were the ones that were channelers, and that's had direct contact with the one and only. She kept me up too all night. And then she repeatedly tried to wake me up most of the morning after keeping me up all night. Yep. So we have to come to an understanding that no matter what, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter the origins of Jesus. It doesn't matter where he sprang from, because it's the teachings that he left us that matter. It's the following that he left us to follow, to endorse, to teach. And not all those teachings are in the Bible. And the Bible was distorted by the Orion group, because people back then were distorted by the Orion group. Doesn't make everything wrong in the book. It just, you have to ask yourself why there's a lot of missing books. Why are there a lot of scrolls missing? Who infringed on those scrolls? Who were the writers of those scrolls? Were they also infringement of the Orion group? We won't know. But we have to take the understanding that Jesus, as the entity that came into an avatar on Earth, was not necessarily human, most likely an alien that came into a body to teach us what we needed to be taught. And that got distorted and got cut off because of the Orion group and the service to self. And now we look at the paradigm that we're going through today, where now we're starting to discover, and now more of the pieces of the Bible that have been removed, the different gospels from Judas, Thomas, the gospel Coel, Jesus and the Essenes, the Arantia book, the Waspe. Actually, they do mention those books. And they wrote notes on them. Like I said, I have a lot of notes. They're all fragmentized. So Rod talks about a waspe, because the questioner asked, and this transmitted by one of the Confederation's social memory complex to unveil the law of one. Names that I can't pronounce and frustrate the living daylights out of me were taken for vibrational characteristics and deeper understanding of love light to teach entities of your sphere. So then, that's why I'm reading a waspe. Now, the Arantia book series, he claims of disincarnate entities of your own earth planes, inner planes, not passed by the council, wrote the Arantia book. But what happens if those entities are from Agartha, inner earth, which that's the feeling that I get when I'm reading it. And it might not be from the council, but should that matter? Because all four books, the Law of One, the Keys of Enoch, a Waspe, and the Arantia book correlate a lot together, especially the Keys of Enoch and the Arantia book coincide with each other. So it's not necessarily, I had some people talk about how it's from the mantids and they're evil and these really negative beings. But if you read the book objectively without having that made up in your mind, it coincides with other books and other sayings. So who's right and who's wrong? That's up for you to decide and to resonate with. But Rod does mention those two books are mentioned, and I found it very interesting, the commentary. So Urantia isn't a necessarily negative book. I will continue reading it because I find it fascinating, and I find a lot of the information correlates and parallels the Keys of Enoch with a lot of stuff. Now, Awaspe is more on the biblical journey, and I'm reading the Book of Wars right now with everybody. It's some juicy shit. It's a lot. It's long-winded. It's crazy, but a lot of good stuff in there. So check those videos out. Those I'm not taking down or revamping. So just be aware, this is not to disrespect anybody, and a lot of people are not going to resonate with what I just said about the 10 Commandments, about Jesus or Yahweh. But you have to really also look outside of the box. If I'm talking about myself being a starseed and other people are talking about being starseeds and our galactic family and our multidimensional family, then there has to be some truth to Jesus not really necessarily. He came here with a mission, and it was from God, and it was to spread love, and it was to teach us. And the people back then were distorted and killed him so that the message couldn't be further given out. And if Moses was infringed upon, who else was? These are very highly dense beings that came to disrupt this experiment. And you're seeing the parallels play out in our paradigm today. You're seeing the elite finally being taken down. Which reminds me, my channel's being watched. I keep getting viewership, and I keep getting subscribers go all the way up, and then all of a sudden it goes and gets knocked back down. So somebody's I'm either being shadow banned or they're taking away subscribers to me. So just make sure you are subscribed to me, and that you keep continuing hitting that like button on the multiple videos that I put out, because they're messing with me. And that's okay. I have a backup on a different platform if they decide to yank me. It would have been a very long time before I would have been monetized. As much as that would have helped me, it's not a lot of money, but it's something more than I already have, because I'm not getting anything. I'm not having a stream of income flowing into me every day. Just not. I'm lucky that I sold some stuff that I can pay my bills. Not all of them. The ones that I can connect to the internet so I can do these. I focused on those, and I was able to pay that bill to do this for another month. But if I don't receive help, I don't eat, and I can't do these things. So the ways people can help, if you are in my shoes, just hit that like button. Subscribe. Doesn't hurt. I'm subscribed to a lot of people. And again, if a lot of things don't resonate with you, just skip. It's all right. I get it. But again, how are you going to be a service to yourself? And how are you going to be a service to others? You have to have your cup full. How are you going to come together? Understanding and letting go of what you know, and realizing that none of us have the truth in its full, finality. We might never know the real truth of how we became and why things happened the way they did. But we're going to get some sort of disclosure. A lot is going to come out. They did take and raid the Vatican. So all those missing books and scrolls, I'm sure, are in secret being studied and translated properly without distortion. And that's happening now. We're not being told about it, but I know about the raiding of the Vatican. They took the information that belongs to humanity and they're going to give it back to us. When it's going to happen, I don't know. I don't know. But there is a lot missing, and there is still more that is being now uncovered, because now it's its time to come out so that we can all come together and ascend and come to the truth of the matter. It won't change much, and you have to understand that. It doesn't matter where Jesus came from. It's the words and what he did that we need to strive for. And not just Jesus, other entities as well came across this earth to do good by humanity. And it's up to us to follow those traits and take those teachings and use it for ourselves to pass along those messages of love. So just think about that. There's nothing to be upset over. It is what it is. And again, this is, from Raw. It's not easy to stomach. But look at the contradictions of things. How could things be worded better? If you look at how things are worded and how things are used, it's spellcasting. How would you write your own commandments? And then people broke them instantly because you didn't know you were bad. You're going to die now. Well, why are you killing me? What did I do wrong? I didn't kill anybody. Oh, because I'm different? Gotcha. Not godlike. So really take a look at those aspects. Really go in and think about what Ra is trying to share with us. And then go watch Tarot by Janine's Friday video with Ashley and see what that has to say, because I really believe that correlates to that a lot. So I do apologize. I did want to put this video out last night. I did it. I went to look at the editing and I don't know what happened with the sound. I tested out another video before this one to make sure that my sound was fixed. It is. So here we are. Sending each and every one of you love and light. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it gave you some perspective, something to think about, something to look into. Again, I'm not here to disrespect anybody or change your belief system. It shouldn't. It's the obtainment of Christ consciousness. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all about love and light. So let's keep that going. Buckle up. Make sure you are on one of my social medias. So if I am taken down for whatever the reason is, you can find me at my other locations, and then I will make announcements. I tend not wanting to do email blasts and stuff like that, just because not everybody's bombarded with emails. Trust me. Everybody's like, sign up to my email. Get 20 million emails a day, and half of them are spam, and then the other half is important, and then you miss everything. So just find me on social medias. Twitter is back up and popping. I'm on there. Telegram is always a place that I check a lot during the day. Facebook, either one of my personal or my other, it doesn't matter. I'm on Instagram as well. So all that stuff is going to be in the Dropbox, just in case if you want to keep tabs of if things happen and go down, where I'll be. Love and light to every one of you, wherever you are. Hold your vibes high. Especially today. We got an eclipse. We got a new moon. We got a lot of different energies. They're crazy banana nuts. And try to ground, drink lots of water, and rest. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.